farm-raised animals. Country Meats has a retail shop in Harrison currently open on Saturdays, or stop by their main shop at 18500 South Lane Road in Cataldo. Check out Country Meats' website, countrymeatsid.com, and follow them on Facebook for updates on hours and special offers. That's Country Meats, formerly Scheffelmeyer's, also proud supporters of the Benoit County Fair. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 1st Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, "Go Lumberjacks!"
And we are back here at Orofino Elementary School, I believe it is, softball fields, as the Lumberjacks get set to take on the Grangeville Bulldogs in a winner-go-home battle. St. Mary's, if they win that game, would go play a play-in game on Saturday down in Moscow. I believe the time was 1 o'clock. And if the Lumberjacks lose, the season will be over and they'll head home. So we'll see what can happen here today. The Lumberjacks have beat Grangeville 3 times in the regular season, lost in the first game of districts against the Bulldogs. And the tough part of that loss was it was on 4, according to my stats, and Bree Watkins, who did the official stats. The Lumberjacks lost that game on 4 unearned runs to the Bulldogs. So that really makes that a kind of a tough pill to swallow if you're the Lumberjacks. So they're going to want to come back and put on a good showing here in this game. And, the girls would love to probably do like they did to Kellogg in the first game this afternoon and win it in 3 innings. But I don't know if that would be a reality. It's kind of tough to do. It doesn't happen a lot. And, of course, from my standpoint, I don't necessarily want to have just a 3-inning game to broadcast. So we'll see what happens. It should be a pretty good battle. These 2 teams have played each other pretty tough all season long, so it should be a good game. Let's take a quick look at the outfield for the Lumberjacks to get things started in this game. It'll be Addison Stewart in the pitching circle for St. Mary's. Taryn Brebner will be behind home plate. Mia Asbury over at first. Lissa Watkins over at second base. Danica Sloper at third. She'll switch off with Adeline Turner. They kind of go inning for inning there at third base. Brenna Elliott will be at shortstop for the Lumberjacks. Kendra Nicholson will be in left field. Maddie Thomas in center. And Avery Baird will be in right field for the Lumberjacks. The batting order for the Bulldogs, you'll see Madeline Green batting first. She's the first baseman for Grangeville. Addison Vanderwall batting second. She's the second baseman. Chris Barger in that number 3 slot, the third baseman. Sienna Wagner, the shortstop, in the number 4 slot. Madison Harris, the center fielder, in the number 5 slot. Batting sixth will be Adelaide LaFay. She is the designated player. McKenna York, the right fielder, batting number 7. Kinsley Adams, the catcher, batting number 8. And Autumn Long will be batting number 9. She's the pitcher. Keely McGregor is the flex, and she'll be in left field for the Grangeville Bulldogs. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back as the Lumberjacks will be out there in the field in just a second doing some warm-up pitches, and we'll be back with the first pitch scheduled for, 6:15. It's just now 6:15, but we'll take a quick break anyways.
Spring is here, and you can make your home beautiful this summer with help from 10th Street Lumber. Besides all the building materials you'll ever need, 10th Street Lumber has landscaping supplies. They have landscaping bricks, concrete bricks, paving bricks, as well as planting materials. So stop by today, whether you're building a deck, a patio, or planting flowers, 10th Street Lumber has it all. 10th Street Lumber at 10th Street and Railroad Avenue, right here in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oakes at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oakes a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's is your one-stop farm and garden shop. Everything from pet supplies to livestock feeds and supplies, Triple X Feeds has it. Horse supplies, they have that also. From saddle pads to bridles, Triple X Feeds can set you up. Triple X Feeds now has hay and alfalfa in stock as well as straw. Triple X Feeds, located at 130 East College Avenue in St. Mary's, open 8 to 5:30 weekdays and 9 to 5 on Saturdays. Triple X Feeds, a proud Lumberjack sports broadcast sponsor.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
And we are back here at the Orofino Elementary School softball fields as the Lumberjacks get set to do battle with the Grangeville Bulldogs for that, not the final spot at state, it's a chance to get to that final spot in the state tournament. And we'll give you a quick rundown again of the Lumberjack defense. Addie Stewart will be at in the pitching circle, all-league first-team selection. Taryn Brebner will be behind home plate. Mia Asbury, Lumberjack senior, will be over at third base. And second base will be Lissa Watkins. At third base, Danica Sloper. Brenna Elliott at short. Kendra Nicholson in left. Maddie Thomas in center. Avery Baird in right field. I might try to get our seniors recognized one more time tonight, just in case this happens to be the final game of the year for the girls. And we'll do that as we go through this game here. First batter, Madeline Green for the Bulldogs. She's a lefty. Stewart's first pitch, going to be a strike called down, catching that outside corner, it looked like. Stewart's pitching on the season, a 3.62 earned run average. Next pitch is going to be fouled off for strike 2. 0-2 count to Green. Stewart on the season, 76 strikeouts, 26 walks. 0-2 pitch. Fouls that one back as well. Back on Friday when St. Mary's played Grangeville in St. Mary's, Addie had a pretty good first 3 innings pitching, as there was no hits through those first 3 innings. There was 3 up and 3 down. 0-2 count to Green. That one misses low. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Madeline. Stewart rocks and fires. That one's a little high in the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Green. Two-two pitch. Going to wave at that one and be strike 3 to retire the first batter. Stepping up is Vanderwall for the Bulldogs, the number 5. Chris Barger on deck. In the hole is Wagner. First pitch to Vanderwall was ball 1 outside. 1-0 pitch on the way. That's going to be lifted out towards right field. Going to come over and try to make the catch is going to be Lissa Watkins, and not the way the Lumberjacks want to start off defensively, as there will be 2 errors that advances Vanderwall all the way over to third base.
At bat number 2, Barger. On deck number 7, Wagner.
I'm not sure who the second error was on, but first pitch is going to be outside, ball 1 to Barger. Or I think that's second. That's the second. First pitch, second pitch to Barger. I'm not sure. That's the first pitch to Barger. That one's going to be fouled off for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Barger. On deck is Wagner. In the hole is Harris. Bulldogs looking to bounce back from that game against Orofino. That'll be lifted up to center field, and it'll score a run on an RBI single for Barger. So the Bulldogs get on the board early.
At bat number 7, Wagner.
As they found a gap between right field and center field. So runner on first with 1 run across already for Grangeville. Sienna Wagner to the plate with Harris on deck and LaFay in the hole. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. First senior that we will recognize is Mia Asbury, first baseman for St. Mary's. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Runner's going to take off to second base. Get there just in time. So runner at second for the Bulldogs with no outs. 1 run across. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wagner. Mia Asbury's guardians is Chris Asbury, Rochelle and Tim Fisher, and Aubrey Asbury. She has 12 years of playing softball. I could probably do these actually while the player is up to bat, so I might wait, finish that up when we have the players coming to the plate. Wagner's going to reach for a bunt on that one and foul it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Wagner. It's been a pretty nice day here in Orofino. A few clouds, a little bit of wind. There's been no rain, though, so that's nice. Not too bad of temperatures, probably near 70. 1-2 pitch, popped up, and that's going to get foul. Count remains 1-2 to Wagner. One-two pitch on the way. Ground ball into the gap out to left field. A runner's going to come around and try to score, and she'll do so. That is Caris Barger on the RBI single by Wagner. Still no.
Number 3, Harris. On deck number
Still no outs and a run on another run across. 2-0 the Bulldogs lead here in the top of the first. Wagner on first for the Bulldogs. Harris going to show bunt. She's going to miss, be a strike. Wagner will steal over to second. And then she'll get over to third on, I think. I'm going to have to call that another error on St. Mary's. I think that came off the glove of the shortstop, Elliott. 0-1 count to Harris. Stewart rocks and fires. That pitch misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck is LaFay, and the hole is York for Grangeville. 1-1 pitch, down in the dirt, ball 2. Good stop by Brebner behind home plate, as that ball came in like a bowling ball. 2-1 count to Harris. That next pitch is a nice fastball down the middle. 2-2 count to Harris. Stewart trying to find her groove. Next pitch going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that'll be the first out, or no, second out for the Bulldogs. I didn't realize I think I missed one of our outs. I think it was a strikeout, actually. So, yeah, 2 outs for the Bulldogs. Runner at third. Adelaide LaFay to the plate for Grangeville. First pitch fouled off down that third base line. 0-1 count to LaFay. On deck is McKinney York. In the hole is Adams. Lumberjacks have given up a couple of runs here, had a couple of errors in this inning. That'll be a ground ball up the middle, gets under the glove of Watkins, and it'll be an RBI single for LaFay, and she'll get over to second as that ball kind of gets lost out there in center field.
At bat number 4, York. On deck number 15, Adams.
So another run across for Grangeville. That ball is going to be fouled off down the first baseline for a strike. The Score is 3-0 in favor of Grangeville. They don't have the... I'll have to let... I think they've got only Earl over here running the scoreboard right now, so he's double timing it. I'm pretty sure the score is 3-0. McKinney York waiting for the next pitch. Fouled the first one off for strike one. Took a minute to get the ball back in. That pitch is going to be down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch, ground ball again. Oh, nice backhanded snag by Lissa Watkins, and gets the throw over to Asbury in time for the out. I thought that ball was going to be trouble, and instead Lissa makes a great backhanded snag and gets the throw over to first in time. 3 runs on a couple of hits, and I think there was nobody left. 1 left on base. It's 3-0 in favor of the Bulldogs going into the bottom of the first inning. Maddie Thomas, Avery Baird, and Addison Stewart, the first 3 batters for St. Mary's.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
And we are back. That Aaron Nelson of Riverbend Bubbles Car Wash and Laundromat, he's a busy guy. I think he's just about part of every committee there is in St. Mary's. So our first batter for the Lumberjacks will be Maddie Thomas. She is a senior. Maddie, her guardians, Bill and Misty Thomas, 13 years of playing softball. After high school, she plans to pursue a career in phlebotomy. She's played basketball and softball in high school. Her most memorable moment was when the softball team went to state her sophomore year. She'd like to thank her mom and her dad for being her biggest supporters, Danica, Avery, Mia, Addie, and Brenna for being her best friends and always staying by her side. She'd also like to thank the rest of her teammates for always making each year such a memorable year. Lanio and Brianne, Mr. Anderson, Barry, the Booster Club for making this all possible, Mallet, Coach Tony, Tammy Hodall, Peen, Dakota Wickard, Michelle Davenport, Coffee Radio, all of her siblings, her nieces and nephews, the Sloper family, the Turners, and anyone else that she may have forgotten. That is senior Madison Thomas. That is at the plate right now. A couple of home runs on the year for her. First pitch is high and outside as the pitcher, Autumn Long for the Bulldogs, misses outside on that one. Long will be the pitcher. Kinsley Adams behind home plate. Trying to find my, there it is. My stats. That pitch was fouled off for strike 1. Once again, Maddie Thomas batting .403 on the year. 22 RBIs, 9 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 home runs. On deck is Avery Baird, another senior. That pitch is down in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike to Thomas. St. Mary's finds themselves down 3-0 after the top of the first inning to the Bulldogs here. Again, I thought that was going to be high and outside, and a little bit of a late call there from the umpire. He says strike 2 on the outside corner. 2-2 to Thomas. Long takes a look at that wristband. That one she's going to pop up. It's going to be into foul territory and just pops out of the glove of Long as she charges over from the pitching circle to try to catch that on the fly. 2 balls, 2 strikes remains the count. Our next senior will be Avery Baird. And that is our on-deck batter. 2-2 pitch to Thomas. That is going to be lifted into left field. Keely McGregor will make the catch for the out. On the fly out. 1 down. Brings up Avery Baird, her guardians Brenda and Raylan Baird. 4 years of playing. After high school, she plans to attend Boise State University to pursue a degree in cardiac sonography. Softball, basketball, BPA, HOSA, Leadership, and National Honor Society are her activities in high school. Most memorable moment was being the lead singer in her band. First pitch. Line drive foul down the first baseline for strike one. Avery would like to thank her parents and 6 siblings, Coach Lane and Brianne, Coach Mallet, Coach Tony, Wickard, Becky, Bassler, Mel, Brenna, Mia, Danica, Maddie, Addie, Bailey, the Martins, Tammy, Bob, Mike, her teammates, the Booster Club, everyone that put the field together. Next pitch outside for ball one. Everyone who supports the varsity softball team, everyone who has helped her journey along the way, and finally God who made this all possible for her. St. Mary's Lumberjack senior Avery Baird. Next pitch is low and inside, ball 2. 2-1 count to Baird. 1 out, nobody on for the Lumberjacks. They trail 3-0 to the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the second inning. Avery Baird also batting .323 on the season, 14 RBIs, 3 doubles, 1 triple. That one is going to be in the dirt and outside as well. 3-1 count to Baird. On deck, batters, another senior, Addie Stewart. Ooh, outside corner on that pitch. Going to be a called strike. 3-2, full count to Baird. Three-two pitch on the way. High outside, ball 4 will send Baird down to first base. Next batter is a senior, Addie Stewart. Her guardians, Adam and Stormy Stewart. 13 years of playing softball for Addie. After high school, she plans to attend Spokane Community College and play softball at Spokane Falls Community College. BPA, HOSA, ASB, and softball are her activities in school. Her most memorable moment was when Danica puked on the side of the bus, and Tammy, the bus driver, was not very happy about it. First pitch, swung on, fouled back, strike 1. Addie would like to thank her mom, her dad, Amato, Wyatt, Ayla, her grandparents, Coach Mallet, Becky, Danica, Mia, Brenna, Avery, Maddie, Miss Wickard, Bassler, the Watkins, Tony, the Brousseaus, the McGrills, the Turners. Next pitch fouled back as well. Tammy, Peen, all of her teammates, and anyone else who has supported her throughout the years. Lumberjack senior Addie Stewart at the plate. Adeline Turner, the sophomore, on deck for St. Mary's. 0-2 count to Stewart. Had a pretty good first game against Kellogg. That one she's going to reach for and fouls that off to stay alive. I think she was 3 for 3 against Kellogg, if I recall correctly. Right now, though, she's down in the count 0-2 to Long. Next pitch on the way. Going to swing at that one. Strike 3, and Stewart will go down swinging. 2 outs for the Lumberjacks with a runner at first. Brings up Adeline Turner. I didn't give Addie Stewart's hitting stat. She's .446 on the year. Adeline Turner, on the other hand, the sophomore, batting .431 on the season. 25 RBIs, 3 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs. Ouch. First pitch misses outside. Ball 1 to Turner. On deck is Elliott, another one of our seniors. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now to Turner. Sun starting to go down behind the mountain. It'll start to cool down here this evening. 1-1 count. Fouled down that first baseline. Strike 2, 1-2 now to Turner. Coach of the Year, Lane Watkins, getting a foul ball back over to the umpire. 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The Lumberjacks will get 1 on base, but leave her stranded. Going into the top of the second inning, St. Mary's trails the Bulldogs 3-0, and we'll have Kinsley Adams on at bat, Autumn Long on deck, and in the hole, Madeline Green when we return.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's.
And Potlatch Deltic Corporation in St. Mary's, proud to sponsor this broadcast of Lumberjacks softball. Potlatch Deltic also just overall a huge supporter of the community, not to mention one of the biggest employers in town. That Potlatch Deltic Sports Complex out at the high school has been done in a large part due to donations and contributions from Potlatch Deltic. First pitch to Adams, down low for ball one. This year, softball team got to play a few games on their field out there. Hopefully next year we'll get the baseball team out there. Next pitch going to be a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Adams. So it's a 1-1 count. Next pitch, swing and a miss. I think he's actually got a little piece of that. It's still a strike. 1-2 count to Adams. 1-2 pitch on White. That one misses high and outside. 2-2 count now to Adams. Two-two pitch. That one's going to be popped up and foul. Count remains 2-2 to Adams. Sometimes if you hear a pause on one of those foul balls, that's because I'm waiting for it to hit the top of our canopy if it seems like it's close. 2-2 pitch. Again, popped up foul. That one's close. Count remains 2-2. Adams battles with Stewart in the pitching circle. Stewart rocks and fires. That one misses high and outside, runs the count full, 3-2 now. Three-two pitch on the way. Ground ball out to right field. That'll be a base hit for Adams. That was hit down the line, got all the way out to the right fielder Baird. She pulls it in and holds Adams at first base. Bulldogs lead at 3-0 here in the top of the second inning. Autumn Long to the plate for the Bulldogs. Madeline Green on deck. First pitch to Long. Up high for ball one. Adams teasing with the steal over there at first. 1-0 pitch, catches that outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Long. One pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 count now to Long. Try to throw down to try to get Adams out over there at second. Didn't get it there in time. 1-2 count to Long. Pitch on the way. Swing at a fastball. Dropped there. No, first base was occupied, so it doesn't count. And, Mia is trying to figure out how the first base runner for Grangeville wasn't out. She got way off the bag. Anyways, 1 out, runner on first for the Bulldogs. Madeline Green is going to hit a ground ball out to Watkins. Watkins couldn't make a quick enough decision, I think, on where to throw that to. She was looking to go to second. It was too late to throw it to second, and by the time she looked the other way, it was too late to go to first. It's probably an error, but I'm going to call it a single. First pitch to Vanderwall will be a ball low. Vanderwall reached on an error in the first at bat. Now it'll be a ground ball Shortstop will scoop it. They're going to throw to first to get the out at first. That'll be Elliott to Asbury for the ground out.
At bat number 2, Barger. On deck number 7, Wagner.
Runners at second and third for the Bulldogs. Brings up Barger with 2 outs. Barger singled into left center in her first at bat. First pitch from Stewart on the way. Outside, ball 1. Next pitch going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Barger. Once again, top of the second inning, the Bulldogs lead at 3-0 over the Lumberjacks. 2 outs, runners at second and third. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 count now for Barger. Some of the Orofino softball girls over cheering on the Lumberjacks. Ground ball to the third baseman, and Turner's going to boot that one off of her glove, and the run will score, and everybody will be safe.
At bat number 7, Wagner.
I don't know if that was.
Number 3, Harris.
I'm not sure if that was who that error was actually on, or how to completely score that. Anyways, runners at the corners, and a run comes across for the Bulldogs. They're up 4-0 here early in this one. First pitch to Wagner going to be a called strike. Wagner had a single into right field or left fielder first at bat. She's going to get a piece of that one and foul it back. Get a foul tip on it. 0-2 count to Wagner. Lumberjacks gave up 3 runs in the first, top of the first, 1 run here in the top of the fourth. They want to get this third out quickly. And that'll be the third out. On a swing and a miss, strike 3. So 1 run comes in for the Bulldogs. They lead 4-0 going into the bottom of the second. Some Lumberjacks will have Brenna Elliott, the senior, at the plate when we return.
Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1 million in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's. And we are back. Our leadoff batter for the bottom of the second inning is Brenna Elliott. She's a senior. Brenna's guardians are Brian and Katie Elliott. 13 years of playing softball for Brenna. After high school, she plans to attend the University of Idaho and pursue a degree in nursing. Activities in school include National Honor Society, BPA, HOSA, volleyball, basketball, softball, and ASB vice president. Most memorable moment was getting third at softball state in Pocatello her sophomore year. Brenna would like to thank her dad and mom, Sean, Karen, Rory, her grandma Margie, and grandpa Larry, her aunts, uncles, and cousins, Mia, Addie, Danica, Avery, Maddie, Becky, Wickard, Bassler, the Watkins, the Badgetts, Jeff Anderson, Tony, Crum, Tammy, Mike, Bob, Peen, teammates, and anyone else that she may have forgotten. Lumberjack senior Brenna Elliott, and she's going to put that one on the ground for a base hit up the middle with her first at bat. So Lumberjacks get a lead off on.
At bat number 14, Watkins.
That'll bring up Lissa Watkins, the sophomore for St. Mary's. Lissa batting .227 on the year, 11 RBIs and 1 double. On deck batter will be Sloper, a senior, and Mia Asbury in the hole, another senior for the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's senior heavy this year. Going to get a foul ball off the lefty over towards the Lumberjack dugout. Strike 1. I think I failed to mention St. Mary's is the home team in this game. Lumberjacks in a bit of a hole, though. They need to get something going early here. 0-1 count to Watkins. Runner at first, no outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Bulldogs lead at 4-0. That pitch is going to be a called strike, just about knee level. Alyssa has to protect now. 0-2 the count to Watkins. Autumn Long takes a look at her wristband, getting the call from her coach. Next pitch, swing, ground ball, chopped to the third baseman. They're going to flip it over to first, or the second. The throw to first is not going to be in time, as the throw pulled Madeline Green off the bag just a bit. So we'll call that in play. It's a fielder's choice.
At bat number 15, Soper. On deck number 8, Asbury.
So 1 out brings up Sloper, another senior for the Lumberjacks. That's Danica Sloper. Her guardians, Brent and Jamie Sloper. She has 12 years of playing softball. Waiting for the first pitch from Long, on the way. Right at just below the knee, ball 1. After high school, Danica plans to attend North Idaho College and study early childhood education. In school, she participated in basketball, softball, and ASB. 1-0 pitch on the way, up high and outside, 2-0 count to Sloper. Her most memorable moment was Battle of the Bands on the bus rides. Get to Danica's thank yous in just a minute. Danica batting .350 on the season. Outside and high again, 3 balls, no strikes. Danica would like to thank her mom and Grandma Cindy and Grandpa Dan. That pitch is inside for ball 4. Grandma Marge and Grandpa Hugh, her brothers Xavier and Glover, all of her aunts and uncles and cousins, Maddie, Ed, Avery, Brenna, Mia, Addie, Bailey, Bill, and Misty Thomas, the Turners, Lanio, Mallet, Becky, Andrew, the Booster Club, Jeff Anderson, Barry Badgett, Brianne, Tammy, Bob, Mike, all of her teammates she's had over the years, and anyone else that that has helped her along the way. Mia Asbury, a senior, steps to the plate. First pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 1. Asbury batting .200 on the year. I know we already started on Mia's senior as well. That pitch is in the dirt. Ball 1. Passed ball will advance. Pass ball wild pitch will advance the runners to second and third. So once again, Mia Asbury, Chris Asbury, Rochelle and Tim Fisher and Aubrey Asbury are her guardians. 12 years of softball for Mia. Next pitch. Popped up ball on the outfield. Off the glove of Vanderwall. 1 run will come across, and I think we're going to call that an error on Vanderwall on the fly ball.
At bat number 1, Nicholson. On deck number 4, Thomas.
Sloper ended up on third. Asbury on second. First pitch to Kendra Nicholson. Outside, ball 1. Nicholson batting the number 9 slot. After high school, Mia plans to attend Spokane Community College to join her medical sonography program and continue playing volleyball. HOSA BPA, National Honor Society, leadership, volleyball, and softball, her activities in high school. Going to foul that one off is Nicholson for 1 ball, 1 strike. St. Mary's has 1 run across, 4-1. They trail in the bottom of the second. 1 out, runners at second and third. Her most memorable moment was doing Battle of the Bands on the bus ride to away games, along with being the lead guitarist. 1-1 pitch from Long on the way. She's going to lay that down for a bunt. Throw to first will be in time, but the run will score. So the sacrifice bunt does its job.
At bat number 4, Thomas. Top of the order. On deck number 11, Beard.
And Mia Asbury advances over to third base. So 2 runs across for the Lumberjacks. They lead trail 4-2. Brings up the top of the order Maddie Thomas for St. Mary's. Got to get through Mia's thank yous, but maybe we'll wait until her next at bat. That pitch is down low for ball 1. Mia would like to thank her mom, her dad, Aubrey, Tim, Grandma Mag, Grandpa Patty, Papa, Mimi, Brenna, Addie, Danica, Avery, and Maddie. Coach Mallet, Lanio. Get back to those when we get the next pitch. That's going to be hit deep into right center and caught by McKenna York for the out. So the fly out. St. Mary's does pick up a couple of runs on a couple of hits. They now trail 4-2 going into the top of the third. Let's see. Mia would like to also thank the Watkins, the Badgetts, Jeff Anderson, Bob, Mike, Tammy, all of her teammates, and anyone else who has supported her along the way. That is Lumberjack Senior Mia Asbury. We'll be back as it'll be Madison Harris for the Bulldogs at the plate when we return.
P1FCU Ascend checking account, you get more than great dividends. Imagine having an entire branch in your pocket. Who needs a checkbook when you have a digital wallet? The only thing I check these days are my dividends.
Access your account anytime, anywhere. Simplify your life and start earning more with Ascend Checking. Get yours today at p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, your community, your credit union. Insured by NCUA.
And we are back. We want to also thank Coach Brian Chase and the Country Fair in St. Mary's for their support and sponsorship of Lumberjack Spring Sports this year, the broadcasts. Got to remember that they are continuously getting new summer fashion in stock every day over at the Country Fair. They've also got great deals, sale racks, and shoes. They got all kinds of stuff at the Country Fair. It's too much to really explain on the air, as Madison Harris will put that on the ground out into right field. She's going to have a hit single, and then she'll get over to second base on an error by the Lumberjacks. And I think, not sure who that error was on. That one just, they threw it back towards second base, and it got over towards third base, and the runner advanced. So again, the Country Fair in St. Mary's, go over, check out their store. They have a lot of stuff over on Main Street. Fouls off the first pitch does LaFay. She singled her first at bat. They even have some seasonings and stuff for like your barbecue or your jerky stick, stuff like that you want to make. And with barbecue season coming along, definitely something to check out. Next pitch, a swing and a miss. Strike 2 to LaFay. Tell Coach Chase that we sent you there. Also want to wish the golf team good luck and Coach Chase, or the golf players. They got Addie Crane was a district champion in golf this last week. And Braden Buell finished 6th and earned his way to state. State golf will be in Burley this week. High outside on that next pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes to LaFay. So good luck to Coach Chase and his Lumberjack golfers that are going to be headed down south. 2-2 count to LaFay. That one's high and inside. Runs the count full, 3-2. On deck for the Bulldogs will be McKenna York and Kinsley Adams. We are in the 6, 7, and 8 slots for the Bulldogs lineup. Next pitch, ground ball right over to Danica Sloper, who gets the throw to first in time. That was pretty close over there.
At bat number 4, York. On deck number 15.
Runner does advance Madison Harris to third on that throw. 1 out brings up McKenna York for the Bulldogs. She grounded out her first at bat. First pitch is low and outside for ball 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Inside corner, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. York takes a look at her dugout coach over there, and the coach over at third base with a big shocked look on her face. She thought that was low and inside as she ducked out of the way of it. She's going to foul that one off for strike 2. She kind of hopped back from that last pitch because she thought it was going to come close to hitting her. Maybe it did. And the umpire said strike 1 on that inside corner. 1-2 count. And checks third. And she's going to look at the next pitch coming across, and it's going to be strike 3. 2 outs for the Bulldogs now, with a runner stuck over at third base at the moment. Brings up Kinsley Adams. She singled into left field her first at bat, or I should say right field. Stewart rocks and fires. Strike 1 called. Looked like a nice pitch down the middle. 0-1 count to Adams. On deck for the Bulldogs will be Autumn Long. That one will be fouled off. 0-2 count. Oh, 2 count to Adams. Autumn Long will be on deck if Adams gets on. That pitch is going to be up high. 1-2 count now to Adams. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that'll retire the sides. No runs across for the Bulldogs in the top of the third. It'll be 4-2 in favor of Grangeville going into the bottom of the third inning. And we have the number 2 batter, Avery Baird, at the plate. Addison Stewart on deck, and Adeline Turner in the hole when we return.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
And we are back. Avery Baird steps to the plate for the Lumberjacks. Avery walked her first at bat. On deck is Stewart. In the hole is Turner. Long takes a quick look at that armband, getting the call. Rocks and fires the first pitch high and outside for ball one. Had to wait before I gave that call because I almost sounded like the umpire said strike. 1-0 count to Baird. Pitch on the way. Inside, maybe a little low. 2-0 count now to Baird. Long looks in. 2-0 pitch on the way. That'll be a little blooper on the infield, and I think she's going to, no, so close at first. I thought she was going to route run the throw and just couldn't quite get there.
At bat number 5, Stewart. On deck number 12, Turner.
With one out, nobody on, that brings up Addison Stewart. Stewart struck out swinging her last at bat. She doesn't strike out often. A lot of times it's a fly ball or a ground out. First pitch to Stewart. Ground ball into the gap. Going to come off of it just about got past Wagner. But she's able to get a glove on it and knock that down and keeps Addie from getting extra bases. But it is going to be, I'm going to count it as a single. Hard hit ground ball out into left field. Runner on first for the Lumberjacks. Turner to the plate for the Lumberjacks. Turner struck out swinging her first at bat. Home run here. We know Turner can hit home runs, so a home run here would tie the game. Turner just a sophomore. Got a couple of good years left in her softball career. She's going to take a swing at that first pitch and foul it off. McKinney York charged over there to try to catch that ball. Couldn't get to it in time, so it's a strike one to Turner. Oh, 1 count to Adeline. On deck is Elliott. In the hole is Watkins. Ooh, that was for one she probably wished she would have laid off of. I think she got a piece of it. It's a foul ball, strike two, but that pitch was kind of like a rise ball, it looked like. Went up high. Coach Lane down there kind of giving her the shoulders like, what were you thinking on that one? 0-2 count. Pitch on the way. She's going to hit that one over to the shortstop. The shortstop's going to boot it, and Turner will be safe, and we'll have Turner safe at first, Stewart safe at third. Going going to call that one an error, I think, on the ground ball. As the shortstop booted that one. Misses it. Strike one. Oh, 1 count to Elliott. Once again, we're in the bottom of the third inning. St. Mary's trails 4-2 to the Bulldogs. Winner goes on to a play-in game. Loser goes home. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Elliott. Elliott has to protect now. 0-2 in the count. Autumn Long looks in, fires the pitch. Just a little dribbler of a ground ball out to the pitcher, and it's kind of almost a sacrifice bunt, even though she swung away at it. It does bring a run across for St. Mary's. But it is just a ground out.
At bat number 14, Watkins. On deck number 15, Wolfer.
That'll bring up Watkins. Turner sits at third base for the Lumberjacks. See if Watkins can get on. She reached on a fielder's choice in her first at bat. First pitch is down in the dirt for ball one. If Turner can get across the plate, they'll tie things up here in the bottom of the third inning. Long taking a look over to her coach in the dugout, getting her signals for the next pitch that they want her to throw. Maybe it's even a defensive set. I don't know. They're not relaying anything to the outfield, so it's just a pitch. That'll be a strike outside corner. 1-1 count. They're going to try to pick Turner off over at third from the pitcher. Doesn't count. Doesn't get it there in time, I should say. So it's a 1-1 count now to Watkins with 2 outs, runner at third. Tying run sitting at third. That one's down in the dirt. 2-1 count now to Watkins. On deck is Sloper if Lissa can get on. Asbury in the hole for the Jacks. Long again checking with her coach. Checks her wristband. Gets up, toes the rubber, looks into her catcher, Adams, rocks and fires. Oh, that pitch misses up high. And that one is going to be out. Adeline Turner, Coach Watkins, center on that wild pitch. And a good bounce off the backdrop for the catcher Adams, able to flip it to Long in time to get the out. So St. Mary's does come up with a couple of runs, though. They cut the lead 4-3 in favor of Grangeville. And we are going into the top of the fourth. St. Mary's trails it. Once again, 4-3. It'll be Autumn Long, the bottom of the order at the bat. On deck will be Green. In the hole is Vanderwall.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most. Help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Missed time that break just a minute. Autumn Long to the plate, takes the first pitch down low for ball one. Next pitch is going to be popped up, fly ball into right field, and coming over to make the catch is Avery Baird. Almost had a collision there as all three Lumberjacks on that side of the field were headed to it. They need to, I'm not sure if they were, but they really need to talk to each other and call each other off. I was noticing that with the Orofino Maniacs in their game. They really do a good job of talking to their teammates. That is going to be hit deep all the way to the field. It will be a double for Madeline Green, the lefty. Nice hit by Madeline as that goes all the way out to the fence.
Vanderwall. On deck number 2, Barger.
That ball I almost thought was going to go over the fence. Brings up Vanderwall with 1 out, runner at second base. Vanderwall had a ground out, reached on an error in her first at bat. On deck is Barger. In the hole is Wagner. That first pitch fouled back, strike 1. Umpire checking with Brebner as that one glanced off of her face mask. 0-1 count to Vanderwall. Stewart rocks and fires. Going to foul that one back as well. 0-2 count now to Vanderwall. Oh, 2 pitch on the way. That'll be lifted into left field. That's going to be trouble. That one is a home run, a 2-run shot by Vanderwall out to left field. And the 2 runs St. Mary's had gotten back, the Bulldogs will get back. Nice hit by the Bulldogs. 6-3 Bulldogs lead after the 2-run homer. 1 out, nobody on the bags for the Bulldogs. It'll bring up Carissa Barger. She reached on an error in her last at bat, had a single in her first. Lumberjacks regroup here, settle in for Stewart. That one's going to go high for a ball 1 to Barger. One-0 pitch, lifted out into center. High fly ball. Maddie Thomas. Oh, they didn't. Again, I don't think enough communication going out there. Kendra Nicholson, I think, was going to let Maddie get it, and then Maddie decided to let Kendra get it, and it popped out of Kendra's glove. So a little bit of a miscommunication there leads to an error, and a runner on second for the Bulldogs with 1 out. First pitch to Sienna Wagner fouled off for strike 1. Wagner a single and a strikeout swinging. On deck is Harris. In the hole is LaFay. Next pitch, that'll be lifted into center field. Actually, it's going to be lifted to Brenna Elliott at short for the out.
Number 3,
everybody else is held up. Brings up Madison Harris. First pitch is high for ball 1. Pitch will get away and will allow the runner to third, and then the throw back out to the pitcher gets away from Stewart, and that'll bring a run across. Swing and a miss from Harris on that next pitch. Kind of maybe a rise ball from Stewart. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on the bags now for the Bulldogs. 3 runs across here in the top of the 4th inning. Gives them a 7-3 lead. Stretched it back out to that 4-run advantage. And that's going to be a fair ball hit out to right field by Harris. It's going to result in we're going to send her home. And I think we have an in-the-park home run. Unless there was an error by St. Mary's I didn't see there.
At bat number 24.
4th run across here in the top of the 4th inning for the Bulldogs. 2 outs. High outside on that pitch. Ball 1.
Deck number 4, York.
Lumberjacks trail by 5 now. They need to focus themselves, get themselves turned around here. They can come back from this. That's going to be hit over the head of Elliott into left for a base hit. A little fly ball. Just over the head of Elliott. Brings up McKinney York for the Bulldogs. Adams on deck, long in the hole. York, ground out, strikeout, looking her first 2 at-bats. She's going to pop that ball up on the infield. Asbury makes the call and makes the catch for the final out to retire the sides. But the Bulldogs add 4 runs to their lead, and they stretch it back to a 5-run deficit for the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's trails 8-3. 6, 7, 8 batters when we come back. Watkins, Sloper, and Asbury.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products including auto, home, commercial, and life, plus they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
You're listening to the home of Lumberjack Sports, 1240 KOFE, St. Mary's.
And we are back. Watkins leads off for the Lumberjacks here in the bottom of the 4th. Lumberjacks to cut it to a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 3rd. Now they find themselves down by 5 as the Bulldogs had a 4-run inning in the top of the 4th. See if the Lumberjacks can get something rolling here and cut that lead back down. Alyssa reached on a fielder's choice her first at bat. First pitch from Watkins. She's going to foul down the third base line and out of play for strike 1. On deck is Sloper. In the hole is Asbury. Oh, 1 pitch to Watkins. That one ends up in the dirt, comes out of Long's hand a little bit early there, I think. 1-1 count now to Watkins. One pitch on the way. Fouls that one off. Makes it a 1-2 count now. One-two pitch on the way. That one ends up in the dirt. Runs the count even, 2-2 now to Watkins. Two pitch on the way. She's going to foul that one down that third base line. Watkins liking that left field side, foul ball on 3 of them. Count is still 2-2 to Watkins. Bottom of the 4th inning, nobody out for St. Mary's, nobody on. 8-3 ball game in favor of Grangeville. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Watkins. Sloper on deck for St. Mary's. Long takes a look at that wristband. That one ends up in the dirt, runs the count full 3-2. Next pitch. Oh, big swing and a miss. Strike 3, and she'll go down swinging. That was maybe a rise ball that got her to take a big old hack at it. That'll bring up Danica Sloper with 1 out. Nobody on. Mia Asbury on deck. Nicholson in the hole. Danica had one in the first game that if it would have stayed straight down that line, it would have been a homer. That pitch is going to get away from Long up high. Ball 1. Turn the lights on here above the field. Next pitch. That'll be a fly ball out to Vanderwall, the second baseman who makes the catch for the out.
At bat number 8, Asbury.
That'll bring up Mia Asbury for the Lumberjacks. Asbury reached on an error out in the left field or right field in her first at bat. On deck is Nicholson. In the hole is Thomas. St. Mary's needs to get a 2-out rally going here. First pitch, a called strike. 0-1 count to Asbury. Long checks with her wristband. 0-1 pitch on the way. High outside. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Asbury. Getting that signal takes a second from the dugout. 1-1 pitch in the dirt. 2-1 now to Asbury. Long checks that wristband, sets up, toes the rubber. 2-1 pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled up and over. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes, or goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. That pitch misses outside. Runs the count full 3-2 to Asbury. Three-two pitch on the way. Big swing and a miss. Strike 3 again. I think she might have caught her with that rise ball. And that'll be 3 up and 3 down for St. Mary's. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Into the top of the 5th inning, St. Mary's trails 8-3 to the Bulldogs. It'll be Kinsley Adams, Autumn Long, and Madeline Green the next 3 up for Grangeville when we return.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Other places make you pay extra for that, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les. Book your appointment at leschwab.com. Terms and conditions apply. See leschwab.com for details.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
And we are back. First pitch to Kinsley Adams, a called strike at the knees. Kinsley is 1 for 2, single and a strikeout swinging. On deck is Autumn Long, the 8 and 9 slots, and back to top of the order to Green. That pitch missed a little high and a little inside, I would believe. 1 ball, 1 strike to Adams. One pitch on the way. That's going to be a called strike. I think that one caught that inside corner. Right about belt height. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Adams. That one ends up in dirt. 2-2 count now. The next pitch is high and outside. Runs the count full 3-2. Full count to Adams. Next pitch. That's going to be a fly ball into foul territory. Making the catch will be Danica Sloper for the first out.
At bat number 8, Long. On deck number 12, Green.
1 out, nobody on for the Bulldogs. Brings up Autumn Long. Autumn, strikeout swinging and a fly out in her first 2 at-bats. First pitch, outside corner, strike 1. Pretty nice view here from the field. You got the mountains as a backdrop. 0-1 pitch. Popped out to the shortstop, Brenna Elliott, who makes the catch for the fly out. 2 down for the Bulldogs.
At bat number 12, Green. Top of the order.
Bulldogs, though, have had some 2-out rallies today. Strikeout swinging, a single and a double for Green. Top of the order for Grangeville. Fastball low, ball 1. 1-0 pitch. That'll be lifted into right field, and that'll be another double, I believe, for Green, unless they don't get it in time. And they're able to get it cleaned up, but a nice hit by Green. Brings up Vanderwall. Vanderwall hit a home run in her last at bat, so want to be on the lookout for another one of those. First pitch is a called strike. 2 outs and a runner at second base for the Bulldogs here in the top of the 5th. Grangeville leads at 8-3. 2 outs. Next pitch on the way. It's going to be into the gap on a kind of a line drive. Runner's going to come around to score. Maybe a single with an RBI for Vanderwall. Bulldogs have found their bats here. They were hitting pretty good against Grangeville, or against Orofino. St. Mary's trails by 6 runs, 9-3, brings up Barger. First pitch is low for ball 1. Barger, a single and 2 errors. That's going to be a foul ball. I think that one got her foot. 1 ball, 1 strike to Barger. One pitch on the way. Going to be hit just past the glove of Elliott. Runner's going to try to get to third. The throw's not going to get there in time, and runners will be safe as Barger actually gets over to third, or to second, on the throw.
Wagner, on deck number 3, Harris.
2 outs, runners at second and third for the Bulldogs. St. Mary's doesn't want to let the Bulldogs get Wagner out. She has a single, a strikeout, swinging, and a fly out in her first 3 at-bats. On deck is Harris in the hole of Fay. First pitch, inside corner, strike 1. Next pitch on the way. Inside corner once again, 0-2 count now to Wagner. She kind of looks around her coaches, thinking that was inside. 0-2 pitch. Foul ball down that third baseline. Count remains 0-2 to Wagner. Pitch. That's going to be popped up. Watkins comes over and makes the catch from second base for the fly out. No runs come across for the Bulldogs. And Lumberjacks still trail 9-3 going into the bottom of the 5th. We'll be at the bottom of the order. Kendra Nicholson in that number 9 slot. Then we've got Thomas and Baird on deck and in the hole. St. Mary's needs to get their bats going here in the bottom of the 5th as they trail by 6 runs.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware, the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the Hot Deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
And we are back. Kendra Nicholson leads off for the Lumberjacks. She had a sacrifice bunt in her first at bat. St. Mary's has only batted through their order 2nd time right now. She's going to take a swing at that first pitch for strike 1. Grangeville, I think, is on their 3rd time around. 0-1 count to Nicholson. Thomas at the top of the order on deck with Baird in the hole. Autumn Long checking that wristband once again. Sets up, toes the rubber, rocks and fires. Ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nicholson. One pitch on the way. Fouled off. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes now after the foul ball. Once again, getting the call to the catcher and the pitcher. They're the two with the wristband. 1-2 pitch on the way. Down low, 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Nicholson. Autumn Long has 69 total pitches thrown in the game, 28 balls, 41 strikes. 2-2 pitch on the way. That'll be a little blooper. Pop fly to the second baseman, Vanderwall, who will scoop it up and throw it.
At bat number 4,
to first base for the out. So 1 out, nobody on for the Lumberjacks. Brings up Thomas. Thomas is due for something here in this one. She's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts. That pitch is low and outside for ball 1. On deck is Baird, in the hole is Stewart. The 1-2-3 batters for the Lumberjacks. Again, bottom of the 5th, St. Mary's trails 9-3 to the Bulldogs. 1 out, nobody on. That'll be lifted into left field, but it's going to be lifted too well and gives Madison Harris, the center fielder, plenty of time to come over and track that ball down. So, Thomas is now 3 for 3 for flyouts.
On deck number 5, Stewart.
Brings up Baird with 2 outs, nobody on. Baird fly out and a walk in her first 2. First pitch is high and outside for ball 1. That pitch is going to be swung at and fouled down the first baseline. We got a 1 ball, 1 strike count now to Baird. Takes just a little bit of time for them to get that call in. Next pitch on the way. In the dirt, 2-1 count now to Baird. Two-1 pitch on the way. Down low once again. Baird in control right now with a 3-1 count. Baird definitely needs to be patient, wait for that perfect pitch. Don't swing at anything that's out of range. 3-1 count. Long checks that wristband, toes the rubber, rocks and fires. Down in the dirt, and Baird will be on with a walk. So with 2 outs, St. Mary's has a runner at first, brings up Stewart with Turner on deck. Elliott in the hole for the Lumberjacks. Is this possibly where the Lumberjacks start their 2-out rally? First pitch, center field. It'll drop for a base hit, and it's going to change direction on Harris as that ball bounces the opposite direction, and we're going to get a double for Stewart.
At bat number 12, Turner. On deck number 2, Elliott.
So runners at second and third for the Jacks, brings up Turner. Adlin Turner at the plate, Brenna Elliott on deck, Lissa Watkins in the hole. She's 1 count to Turner. Turner reached on an error in her second at bat, struck out swinging her first. That pitch is in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, takes a minute to get that call in, so it slows things down a bit. 1-1 pitch on the way. That is going to be a ground ball hit to the third baseman, or the shortstop, and the throw is going to be a little short and come out of the glove of the first baseman, and the Lumberjacks will score 2 runs on the air.
At bat number 12, Elliott. On deck number 14, Watkins.
And Turner gets over to second on that error as well. So 2 runs across for St. Mary's. They cut the lead 9-5. It brings up Elliott with 2 outs. Elliott swings at that first pitch. He's going to foul that out of play. Oh, wait, no, it's not. I thought that looked like it was a foul ball off the bat. It's actually a fly ball out into right field where McKinney York catches it for the 3rd out. Lumberjacks are able to tighten it up a little bit, but they need to get the defensive stops going here as they trail 9-5 to the Bulldogs. Grangeville will be in the 5, 6, 7 slot in their order. Harris, LaFay, and York when we return.
Jack Buell Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Buell Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Buell Trucking. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season, and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
Struck out swinging single and an in-the-park home run in her first 3 at-bats. First pitch, that's going to be a ground ball right out to right field, be a base hit. Bulldogs doing pretty good on the hits this afternoon or evening. Adelaide LaFay to the plate with no out. Runner at first base for Bulldogs. 2 for 3 is LaFay. A single, a ground out, and a single. On deck is York. In the hole is Adams. Fouls off the first pitch down at third base side for a strike 1. Oh, 1 count to LaFay. Stewart rocks and fires. Ground ball hit to Watkins. Watkins is going to let that get through her arms, and it's going to be an error on Watkins. Runner gets to third. Runners at the corners for the Bulldogs. With no outs, brings up York.
At bat number 28, Clement. On deck number 15, Adams.
Umpire was getting some gear adjusted, steps back up, ready to go. York is 0 for 3. Ground out, strikeout looking, and a fly out. That pitch is ball 1. Gets behind Brebner on a wild pitch and gets the hop back out to Brebner. So nobody can advance. That'll be a chopping ground ball to Watkins, and Watkins is going to bobble that one and can't get the throw to first. And then they can't get the throw home in time. So 2 runs are going to come across.
At bat number 15, Adams. On deck number 8, Long.
And that was number, I think they got number 28 over at, no, they're going to get I don't know. I think they had a different batter for that last at bat. Adams will take the first pitch high and outside for ball 1. They had 28 on the bag over there for the Bulldogs, and then they switched her out for McKenna York to courtesy run. Ball too high. Lumberjacks gave up their 2 runs they had earned. That pitch is up high for ball 3. Lumberjacks now trail by 6 runs, 11-5. No outs for Grangeville. Runner at first here in the top of the 6th inning. Next pitch on the way. Ball 4 is 4 pitches for Stewart. And 4 balls will send Adams down to first. Coach Watkins is going to take a timeout, go out and see his infield real quick, as Autumn Long is going to be stepping to the plate for the Bulldogs.
You're listening to the home of Lumberjack Sports, 1240 KOFE St. Mary's.
Coach Watkins trying to gather in his girls out there, get them to refocus, buckle down. Anything can happen. As we've seen in the the Grangeville Orofino game, Grangeville kind of, I don't think they thought they had like a solid, they had a solid lead with a 7-2 lead going into the 5th inning. Orofino able to find a lot of hits in that inning to take the lead, scored 7 runs in that inning. So St. Mary's just needs to get the outs here and not allow any more scores across, and then just buckle down and focus hard in that neck in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Long, going to be a called strike. Long is 0 for 3. Strikeout swinging and 2 flyouts. And we have runners at first and second for the Bulldogs. That'll be fouled back for strike 2. 0-2 count now to Long. Once again, runners at first and second with no outs here in the top of the 6th. Grangeville, I think, has a run or 2 across here in the 6th. Given the 11-5 advantage. That one's going to be popped up and foul. That one just barely missed our 10th. 0-2 count still to Long. On deck is Madeline Green, the top of the order, and then Vanderwall in the hole. Bats have been hot in that upper part of the batting order. That's going to be a called strike inside corner. Going to catch her looking. Gets the first out for the Bulldogs. But you got the dangerous Madeline Green to the plate for Grangeville. She struck out in her first at bat, but she's been perfect since then. A single and 2 doubles. First pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. St. Mary's switched Watkins and Elliott. That is going to be popped up for a fly out to center field as Thomas makes the catch.
At bat number 5, Vanderwall. On deck number 2, Barger.
So they switched Watkins with Elliott. Elliott goes over to second base. Big swing and a miss for Vanderwall as a strike 1. Vanderwall's 2 for 4. Error, ground out, single, or home run and a single. Next pitch is a ball inside, maybe a little high. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Vanderwall. One pitch. Ground ball, going to be, just under the glove of Elliott. And a run will come across on the RBI single. I don't think Elliott touched it. It's going to be a grounder that gets underneath, just under Elliott's glove.
Barger. On deck number 7, Wagner.
And puts runners at the corners with 2 outs. Bulldogs have stretched back out to a 7-run lead, 12-5. Barger has a single, 2 errors, and a single. First pitch to Barger is ball 1. Down low. Batting in that 3-4-5 slot right now. That's going to be up high. Wild pitch, ball 2 to Barger. Gets Vanderwall to second. So runners at second and third for Grangeville. That pitch is going to be down low, ball 3. The runner's going to score on a flip back to the pitcher. Yeah, I put ball 3 down there already. I need to cancel this. Let's just do that. Going to get a change at pitcher. Stewart's going to change her positions, and it looks like we will get Alyssa Watkins to pitch.
At Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we're committed to being your good neighbor.
Good Neighbor Pharmacy is an independent network of over 3,000 pharmacies throughout the United States, giving us the buying power to compete with the chain stores.
We'll fill your prescription quickly and safely, and you're supporting a locally owned pharmacy.
Your copays are the same wherever you go. Why not come and visit your locally owned pharmacy professionals?
Jack's Pharmacy is your Good Neighbor Pharmacy here in St. Mary's. Come in and say hi. Jack's Pharmacy.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Bennewash, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
Yeah, we are back, and Watkins has to take off with Chris Barger, who had 3 balls and no strikes, and that first pitch is going to be high for ball 1. Lumberjacks trail. Ooh. The score is not right on my tablet. And the second baseman out of position there. That's a ground ball to Sloper, and everybody's going to be safe.
At bat number 3, Harris. On deck,
I'm not sure if I can change the score. That'll be a foul ball. So the Bulldogs have 15-5. First pitch will be fouled off by Harris for strike 1. I believe that's Harris. Next pitch, foul ball, strike 2. 0-2 count to Harris. 2 outs for the Bulldogs. They have runners at first and second. Again, kind of another 2-out rally for the Bulldogs. They've had a couple of them. St. Mary's hasn't been able to get that to happen for them. Oh, 2 pitch. That one's going to be a pitch that gets low for a ball. They're going to throw it out to third, and the runner will come across from third as the Bulldogs advanced. And that one's going to be popped up and caught by Sloper for the third out on the fly out. Bulldogs put, I don't know how many runs they put across in that inning because I can't look that up using my phone as my stats keeper. So we have a 16-5 deficit for the Lumberjacks as they trail. We will take a break. Alyssa Watkins will be at the plate when we return.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today. Country Meats, formerly Scheffelmeyer's, is a proud supporter of Lumberjacks Sports. Country Meats offers retail meats as well as custom processing of your farm-raised animals. Country Meats has a retail shop in Harrison currently open on Saturdays, or stop by their main shop at 18500 South Lane Road in Cataldo. Check out Country Meats' website, countrymeatsid.com, and follow them on Facebook for updates on hours and special offers. That's Country Meats, formerly Scheffelmeyer's, also proud supporters of the Benoit County Fair.
And we are back. That's going to be a ground ball from Watkins to the shortstop. Throw to first in time from Wagner Green for the first out of the inning. And the Lumberjacks need to find 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th to keep this game alive, but they now have 1 out and nobody on. Brings up Danica Sloper. We got Sloper, Asbury, and Nicholson the three up. Lumberjacks trail 16-5. Down by 11. Ground ball to the third baseman. That's going to get right through Chris Barger. I'm going to call that a single for
number 8, Asbury.
For Sloper. So Lumberjacks have a runner on, brings up Asbury on deck Nicholson. First pitch is high and outside, ball 1. Asbury reached on an error in her first at bat, struck out swinging in her second at bat. Oh, it's not? Is it 15? That's going to be lifted into center field. Caught for an out. Two outs will bring up Nicholson. So the score is 15-5. I thought it was 16. Up high, ball 1 to Nicholson. So St. Mary still would have to plate 2 runs, I think, to keep the game going, even at 15-5. There's still a 10-run rule. 1 ball, no strikes to Nicholson. 2 balls, no strikes to Nicholson. High and outside. Nicholson can get her way on. St. Mary's will be in the top of their order with Thomas and Baird on deck and in the hole. Again, anything can happen in the game of softball, so you got to keep your heads up. You got to keep your mind focused and just keep digging. That was going to be popped up on the infield, and they're going to call Danica Sloper with a interference on the runner. The defender couldn't get to the ball from the shortstop position, and coach is going to go out and shake hands with the umpire, and I think that is the ball game here tonight. St. Mary's is going to fall 15-5. That is where their season ends. And kind of, again, I'm not saying this to be like down or hard on the girls, but we've noticed this in just about all of our games this year. Defense, and the one thing they've struggled with has been the defensive side of things this year. So a good season for the girls. Hats off to them. They played hard all year long. Top 3 in the league. So lots of things to be proud of, lots of things to get worked on. Want to congratulate the seniors for their high school career as they will move on. We graduate a lot of seniors this year, going to be bringing up some young new faces next year from that JV level and see what those girls can do. And should be young for a couple of years. I'm not sure what the JV roster looks like, if there's many juniors down there or not. It might be a lot of sophomores, it might be a lot of sophomores that will be juniors next year. So going to be a whole fresh group of girls, fresh faces for the varsity softball team. Anyways, we will go ahead and wrap things up here And let's see here. Trying to fix something here. So let's give you a quick recap. The Bulldogs score in every inning except for the third. So they got 3 runs across in the first, 1 run in the second. The third, they were held scoreless, 4 runs in the fourth, 1 run in the fifth, 6 run in the sixth inning. They take the win with 15 runs on 16 hits. Their bats really came to life in this game. 3 errors for the Bulldogs, 8 left on base. Unofficially, the Lumberjacks, they had no runs in the first, 2 in the second, 1 run in the third, no runs in the fourth, 2 runs in the fifth, no runs in the sixth. They had 5 runs on 4 hits. The Lumberjacks committed 10 errors, and they left 3 on base. So with that, thanks for tuning in. And I guess we'll see you next season. We might have some Legion baseball broadcasts, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But I guess that kind of ends our Lumberjack broadcast season for Lumberjack Sports. And next up will be football. We'll get to see what new head coach Hayden Humphrey can do at his first year coaching the Lumberjacks football program coming up in the fall. So once again, congratulations to Lumberjack girls on a pretty good season. Hard-fought season, tough night tonight for them, and really feel for those seniors. They thought they really did have a good chance at making it state this year. Things just didn't fall the right way for them. Good luck to those senior girls in their future. So I guess we send it back to the studio here.